Good morning, everyone. It is, it's still a snowy morning here. But that's okay. It's got to melt sometime, right? And I looked at the long-term forecast, and it's saying that we might get into the upper 40s in a few days. Oh. But anyways, on to better things. Today, I am going to Cleveland. Yep, I'm going with my daughter-in-law, Kelly, to Cleveland because she needs to go for her checkup at the Cleveland Clinic. So we're going to take a drive out there, and we're going to get some lunch, and we're just going to enjoy the day, and it'll be good. So anyways, I hope that everybody has a great day, and I hope that you'll want to stick around and see how mine goes, because I'm not really sure myself. Anyways, I'll talk to all of you in just a little while. Well, we are back, and it's like 7 o'clock in the evening, so it took up most of our day because she got here around 9 o'clock. But great report from her tests, so all is well with my lovely daughter-in-law, and I wanted to share a little bit about where we went today, because in Cleveland there is a market called West Side Market, and it is in an old train station, and there is just vendors that sell all sorts of meats and fruits and vegetables and baked goods and fish and cheeses and fudge and just a whole bunch of stuff. And it is a remarkable place. But I wanted to show you what we bought and tell you a little bit about the story behind it. Because when we were walking through, what we saw was some really odd looking fruit, and it was really intriguing, so we stopped and we asked about it, and she said it was dragon fruit. And so see, dragon fruit. And my daughter-in-law and I decided that we'd each get one, unbeknownst to us what the cost was. But before we had her ring that up, we saw that they sold what's called star fruit, and these were 4 for $5. So we thought, oh, okay, well, we'll get to 4 of them. She'll have 2 and I'll have 2, and that'll be great. Well, that was good. So we said, okay, we'll take that. So my daughter-in-law gets out some cash, and she has $12 in her hands, thinking, well, the star fruit, that's just going to be $2.50, and certainly, the dragon fruit isn't going to cost more than $10. But she weighed it, she rung it up, and she says, that'll be $33. My poor daughter-in-law, she's looking at this lady, and she says, $33? And the lady says, yes, because they're $12.99 a pound, and they cost over a pound, or they weighed over a pound. And all she could say was $33. And I looked at the lady, I said, well, how much are they a pound? And she said $12.99, and that will be $33. Well, at this point, I'm just like, okay. I handed her my credit card. I'm like, okay, we'll take the fruit. And meanwhile, my poor daughter-in-law was just standing there saying, $33? Well, the poor lady saw how exasperated my daughter-in-law was, that she actually threw in, and I'm sure that I'm going to be mispronouncing this name. I think she said it was kombucha, but it's like, it's weird. It's got the color of a strawberry, but it's got these little bristly things coming out of it. And I have no idea what that is. But she threw it in free. I guess she thought that 2 of these would make the $33 seem like a good deal. Yeah. But anyways, we did have a good time, and we went to a wonderful restaurant. It was just Perfect. It was called Town Hall, and it was right around the corner from the West Side Market, and they only sell GMO-free, everything they cook, I should say, because it's a restaurant, is GMO-free. And they have a menu that if you're paleo, if you're vegan, if you're gluten-free, if you're dairy-free, you name it, they are going to make you a fantastic meal. And yeah, it was really good. What I ended up getting was a cashew crumbed chicken sandwich. But it wasn't just a chicken sandwich. It was on a gluten-free roll. But it had some sort of coleslaw, but it wasn't coleslaw. It was made out of things that I've just never I can't even pronounce, to be honest with you. But anyways, we had a great time, and I thought maybe you'd like to see just a few of our pictures of the good time that we had, and I'll talk to all of you in just a little while. For today's devotion, we will be reading from Isaiah chapter 55, verses 8 and 9. For my thoughts are not your thoughts, neither are your ways my ways, declares the Lord. For as the heavens are higher than the earth, so are my ways higher than your ways, and my thoughts than your thoughts. I love these verses. They remind us that God's thoughts, plans, ways, methods, and strategies are infinitely higher and greater than our own. His thoughts are better in every way. They often take us by surprise, and his thoughts can go where we would have never dreamed of going. They are accomplished in ways that surpass any and all of our expectations. Isn't that wonderful? It's wonderful because if you stop and think about it, what kind of God would God be if we could wrap our minds around him and his ways? What kind of God would he be if we could predict what he would do? Or how he would work something out, or situations or circumstances in our life? What kind of God would he be if he worked out the same small and limited view of the world and history that we do? Because if we could understand his ways, he wouldn't be God. He would be small. He would be like us. He could be challenged. He could be called into question and could be given reason to doubt him. But he's none of those things. He is infinitely big, working from a vantage point we can't even comprehend, with power to execute his plan so great no one can thwart his will. The chasm that exists between his plane of thought and ours is too big for words to even be able to express or capture. In his unending wisdom, knowledge, and power, he has planned all of eternity from start to finish. How can our simple minds interpret the unfolding of his mysterious ways? How can our poor intellect expound his incomprehensible thoughts? How can we hope to fathom the unfathomable depths of his understanding? Oh, the depth of the riches and wisdom and knowledge of God. How unsearchable are his judgments and how inscrutable his ways. Yet God has revealed himself to us. God has poured into our hearts the means to know him. not the means to know and understand all his ways, but to know him. The immortal, the invisible, the eternal, the omnipotent, the all-knowing, the only wise God has unveiled himself to you and to me. He has disclosed his very heart of love, his pure goodness, his perfect wisdom, and his true justice. He has whispered into our very beings, I love you. And with that, I want to remind you, life happens. Let's enjoy it. And though we may not understand his ways, let us day by day trust in his love. God bless, and I will talk to you tomorrow.